The Fall of Reach, also referred to as the Battle of Reach and Reach Campaign, was a massive and brutal engagement during the Human Covenant War. This conflict took place on and around the planet Reach, a human colony located in the Epsilon Eridani system, lasting from July 25th to August 30th, 2552. Initial hostilities began on July 23rd, 2552, with a small Covenant task force led by the Shawata pattern supercarrier, Long Night of Solace, covertly establishing a foothold on Reach. The Covenant sought to seize control and hunt for Forerunner artifacts, while the UNSC countered with a ground campaign aimed at expelling the invaders before the arrival of reinforcements. Despite the UNSC's efforts, the Covenant's hold grew stronger, and significant reinforcements led by Thel Vadami arrived, turning the tide of the battle in their favor. The Covenant eventually breached Reach's orbital defense grid and overwhelmed the UNSC's ground forces, leading to the glassing of the planet. Though isolated skirmishes continued, UNSC remnants were ultimately rescued by a small party led by John 117. While the battle resulted in a devastating defeat for the UNSC, Noble Team's successful mission to prevent the capture of Cortana's fragment led to the Pillar of Autumn, engaging the Covenant in a decisive battle on Halo Installation 04. The experience gained from this engagement, coupled with the political schism within the Covenant during their attack on Earth, played a pivotal role in the ultimate defeat of the Covenant. Prior to July 19, 2552, the Office of Naval Intelligence, ONI, conducted calculations to predict the future movement of the Covenant force throughout the galaxy. These calculations revealed that there was an 87% likelihood of the Covenant discovering the Epsilon Eridani system within 5 months. However, Admiral Margaret Parangoski, the head of ONI, debated with Vice Admiral Michael Stanforth about whether to use Reach as the staging ground for Operation Red Flag. They were concerned that the large-scale Forerunner artifacts on the planet would draw the attention of the Covenant. Despite their concerns, the rest of the UNSC received no warning of the impending attack. The predictions made by ONI proved accurate when Supreme Commander Ro Barudami of the Fleet of Valiant Prudence secured a luminary that revealed the location of Reach less than a week after Admiral Parangoski sent her message. Although Barudami was victorious against the humans in the Beta Eridani system, he did not realize the significance of Reach to the UNSC and was unconcerned with the humans in the Epsilon Eridani system. The Fleet of Valiant Prudence, including a Shawata pattern supercarrier, Long Night of Solace, arrived at Reach on July 23rd. They had acquired a luminary that marked the presence of Forerunner technology across the system. Upon arrival, the Covenant deployed a large ground force to the Vieri territory, while cloaking themselves from UNSC sensors using sophisticated stealth pylons. Meanwhile, a small Sangheili Zealot strike team led by a field marshal was dispatched to recover a Forerunner artifact near the Visegrad communications outpost. They disabled the communications array at Visegrad, cutting off contact with the northern part of Alfold from the rest of the UNSC, but their mission went unnoticed by the UNSC. Instead, the Office of Naval Intelligence suspected an ultra-radical cell of the People's Occupation, a local insurrectionist organization, to be responsible for the loss of contact with the facility. In response, the Army was deployed into Palhaza, and several fire teams, including 3 Charlie, were sent to investigate the matter. However, contact with these fire teams was lost shortly after their arrival. After the Visegrad relay was disabled, Spartan Noble Team was dispatched to investigate the incident in place of the missing Army fire teams on the following day. Noble Team had been conducting anti-insurrection operations in the region and was nearby to assist. The team quickly discovered that the attack was not caused by insurrectionists, but rather a small Covenant advance force that had landed on Reach at Visegrad, with the objective of disrupting Reach's communication with other UNSC colonies. After eliminating the advance force, Noble Team proceeded to the relay station, where they were ambushed by a group of Sangheili Zealots who were sent to retrieve crucial data on a Forerunner artifact. Subsequently, the winter contingency was initiated on Reach. The Covenant utilized their cloaking technology and stealth tactics to establish a secure landing zone on Reach, complete with anti-air guns surrounding the perimeter of their staging area in the Viri territory. They had discreetly inserted a significant amount of forces, including multiple corvettes. Following the skirmish at Visegrad, the Covenant launched an assault on Sword Base 2 days later, with the aim of overpowering the Office of Naval Intelligence facility and gaining access to the Forerunner structures present there. However, Noble Team came to the aid of the base and reinforced its defenses, restoring its M71 anti-aircraft guns and communications. The Covenant's attack was thwarted, and their corvette was forced to retreat and ultimately destroyed by a magnetic accelerator cannon on an orbital defense platform. More than 2 weeks after the defense of Sword Base, the UNSC dispatched reconnaissance teams into Covenant-controlled territory to prepare for a counterattack and gather intelligence on enemy positions and strength. With a fortified Covenant staging ground on Reach, the UNSC Army, Marine Corps, and Navy launched a joint offensive in an effort to eliminate the enemy forces before reinforcements arrived. The Army and Noble Team led the charge, attacking the Covenant anti-air weapons to clear the way for bombing runs by GATL-1 longswords and Paris-class heavy frigates. Despite early success, a cloaked Shawata-patterned supercarrier called the Long Night of Solace appeared and reinforced the Covenant forces, thwarting the UNSC attack. In addition, the Covenant made a successful second strike on Sword Base. As the ground battle raged on, RHO's forces in space engaged UNSC naval forces across the system, including light battle groups consisting mainly of Paris-class heavy frigates and a Marathon-class heavy cruiser. After the winter contingency was declared on Reach, personnel at Teller Station, a research laboratory working at Site 17 in the system's Oort cloud, began to evacuate. This triggered Forerunner systems at the site, alerting the fleet of Valiant Prudence to its presence. Rowe deployed a significant portion of his fleet, including SDV-class corvettes and Ket-pattern battlecruisers, to the site, only to be met with more frigates and heavy cruisers deployed by UNSC Admiral Michael Stanforth. Although the Covenant forces overran the defenses at Site 17, the humans were able to extract the artifact. The Covenant tried to board the human flagship to retrieve it, but Stanforth intended to use the artifact to lure the Covenant into a trap near Reach. The battle group was able to break free from their pursuers, and Stanforth called in reinforcements to halt the pursuing Covenant squadrons. After the cloaked supercarrier disrupted the UNSC's ground assault on Reach, the UNSC devised a bold plan called Operation Uppercut, in which Noble Team would utilize FSS 1000 Sabre starfighters to capture the Covenant corvette Ardent Prayer, plant an improvised slipspace drive bomb on it, and use it to destroy the supercarrier. Before the operation, the team had to defend the Sabre research site at Farkas Lake from an attack and then re-equip at Refit Station Anchor 9. Spartan B-312, George 052, and an Army pilot team, aided by the frigate Savannah, boarded the Ardent Prayer and commandeered it. Meanwhile, Supreme Commander Barutami of the Covenant realized the importance of Reach and the threat posed by the UNSC's presence on the surface. The Ministry of Resolution sent a large fleet to the planet, and the Covenant's artifact hunting teams were still bogged down. The commander needed to produce something of value soon, or face retribution from the hierarchs. UNSC Admiral Stanforth had spread his fleet thin, and the UNSC launched Operation Left Jab to distract the supercarrier while Noble Team carried out their mission, unnoticed due to the jamming of their target corvette's communications. UNSC task forces capitalized on the stretched thin Covenant fleet, attacking cut-off scout fleets. Noble 5 sacrificed himself to destroy the Long Night of Solace. But the Ministry of Resolution's massive fleet of warships emerged from slipspace just as the supercarrier was destroyed. The supercarrier's wreckage fell near New Alexandria, killing Barutami, and Shipmaster Cantor Utarali took command of what remained of the fleet of Valiant Prudence. Despite the mission's success, the destruction of the supercarrier caused an unintended setback for Operation Red Flag. The operation required boarding a Class 5 Covenant vessel, like a CAS-class assault carrier or a CSO-class supercarrier, and Admiral Stanforth expressed frustration with the Unified Special Warfare Command's trigger happiness